Hi, I'm Chef Ange. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. On today's episode, I want to show you how to make this amazing and delicious homemade chicken soup. There's a million ways to make chicken soup and everybody's grandma's got their own recipe. This is just one. Loaded with chicken, super savory and delicious broth. It warms my soul just looking at it. Grab a bowl of this, grab your blanket, and head to the couch. Winter is coming.
For the full ingredient list and directions, check the description box below. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you can find out when I drop new recipe and tip videos every week. Let's get cooking.
So for this chicken soup, to cut out some time, we're going to use some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're going to season the chicken with my base seasoning, which is a blend of garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. We're also going to put some olive oil on there. I probably should have put the olive oil on first, but I didn't. So now I'm going to give this a mix with my hands, and I'm going to keep mixing and tossing the chicken together until it's evenly coated with the spice mixture and the olive oil. We're going to cut up some vegetables, but really coarsely. So that's our onions, our carrots, some celery. I'm going to crush some garlic cloves. We don't even need to chop them. Just crush them. We're also going to throw a shallot in there too. And then we're just going to cut it in half and just peel it and just leave it in big chunks. We're going to take a variety of fresh herbs here. I got some thyme, some sage, and rosemary. And I'll tie them up so we can throw them in the soup and easily take them out. I'm just using some butcher twine here that I'll tie it around. Here's a nice ingredient that you put inside chicken soup, a rind from some parmesan cheese. Sometimes I buy these at the supermarket, but they didn't have any, so I'll just cut it off this one. We're going to put some olive oil inside a large stock pot, and we're going to put that chicken in there, get some browning on the outside of them. We don't need to fully cook them. We just want to brown them on the outside because soup is about layering flavors, so you can already see that brownness on the outside of the chicken. That's extra flavor that we're building inside the soup. We're going to brown these in batches, and once they're all browned in batches, we're going to put them back into the pot, and then we're going to throw in our coarsely cut vegetables. So the carrots, in goes the onion, the celery, the shallots, and the garlic. Instead of using water for this soup, we're going to use chicken stock, and that's just going to already add that chicken soup flavor in there. So we're making chicken stock with chicken stock. We're going to throw that herb bundle in there, the bay leaf, that Parmesan cheese rind, and then here's a secret ingredient, some chicken bouillon paste, which is really just concentrated like stock flavor. So right from the start, we're using flavor on flavor on flavor. Already delicious. Last but not least, let's not forget that juice that's collected on the plate when we were browning our chicken in batches. You can't buy flavor like this, and that's definitely got to go back in there. So now we'll give this a little bit of a mix. Add a little bit of pepper. We'll give the soup a final gentle mix and bring it up to a low boil. And then we'll put a lid on top of it and cook the chicken for about 45 minutes until it's nice and tender. We're going to try to be as time efficient as we can with this recipe. So while that's simmering, we're going to prep the rest of our vegetables that are going to go in the finished soup. We're going to finely chop an onion along with carrots and celery. And I like my vegetables for chicken soup finely cut. It's not chicken stew, it's chicken soup. So we're going to cut these lengthwise twice into quarters, and then we're going to chop them down into like little triangles. Not only this is going to help the carrots cook nice and fast, it's going to give a really good mouthfeel for the soup where it's not going to be too chunky. You know, sometimes you're eating chicken soup, you're sick, so you don't want big mouthfuls of stuff. You almost want to like slurp it down and not have a lot of like chew to it. And we're going to finally chop some shallots in there. Those are going to disappear in the soup, so they don't have to go crazy. And we're going to mince some garlic as well. I like to throw just a single tomato in there. And we're going to take the seeds out, and we're just going to use the flesh. So we're going to pull out the middle of the tomato. We're going to cut them lengthwise and then dice them nice and fine. The main vegetables in the soup are going to be the carrots and the celery. The tomatoes coming in there just for a little backup. So once our chicken thighs have been cooking for about 45 minutes, they're going to be super tender. So we're going to be pretty careful pulling them out one by one. And as we're pulling them out, when we run into the vegetables or maybe our herb bundle, we'll take that and we'll put that aside. We'll get as much of the solid things out of the broth as possible, and then we're going to strain that broth. Look how golden and delicious that looks. And we're going to get every last bit inside the strainer, but we're not going to stop there. Now we're going to take a spoon and we're going to push the juice from the soft onions and garlic right through the strainer, try to get every last bit of flavor. A little splash of some white wine vinegar, and now we're going to put those finished vegetables in there. So the onions, the carrots, the celery, the tomatoes, in go the shallots, the garlic. So we're going to put a lid on that, and we're going to throw that on the stove for 15 to 20 minutes while those vegetables get tender. Once the chicken's cool enough to handle, we're going to break it up by hand. And this is the love that goes into chicken soup. Whenever you're doing stuff manually like this, like breaking up chicken by hand, that's love. And that's the difference between good soup and great soup. Now look how much chicken we're putting into this soup. Loaded with protein. Super hearty version of chicken soup, even though it's nice and delicate. We'll give that a little bit of a mix, and we'll continue to cook that until our vegetables are tender. I'm big on being as efficient as possible in the kitchen, so while that's finishing up, I'm going to take some leaves off some parsley, and I'll finally mince that for garnish. So we're going to mix this in a soup in just a second. No wasted time in the kitchen. So this is all done. We're going to season that with some salt, a little bit of pepper, because we're always seasoning along the way. And a little bit of Italian seasoning, because if we throw this in too early, those dried herbs will get black. So now we have our pre-soup soup, and you could take it like this, put it in containers and freeze it, but I like to keep it separate until we're going to make final versions that are going to go inside the bowl. So now we're going to put our noodles in there, and we're going to cook until they're al dente. Once those are done, we'll add a little bit of that parsley for a nice pop of color, mix that in, and this soup is ready for a bowl. I can't wait to eat this. Look how hearty that is. Loaded with chicken, noodles, and vegetables. Make sure when you're serving this, you're getting enough broth in the bowl. That broth is where it's at. And a little bit of parsley to finish. Now come on, how delicious does this chicken soup look? Loaded with chicken, super home-style noodles. This makes me feel like a 5-year-old kid again just looking at it. And I don't care if you got the sniffles or you're well. On a cold day, this chicken soup hits the spot.
Right before we eat this, we're gonna do just one more thing. We're gonna grate some Parmesan cheese right on the top. I don't know if you do this on chicken soup, but I love doing this, and this really adds a really, really nice homey touch. I wouldn't eat chicken soup without this. We're also gonna put just a little bit of fresh ground pepper on top of that. This smells unbelievable. I can't wait to try this. Let's see what this tastes like. And you can see my chicken soup is loaded with chicken. I don't skimp out on the chicken. That is so good. I mean, if food could hug you, this chicken soup would give you a big old hug. I'm going in for another one. I'm Chef Ange. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like. Let me know in the comments section how your chicken soup comes out. If you haven't already, take a second, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.